Mohan, what role can and should the financial sector play in accelerating sustainability in the apparel sector?
The finance sector can play a catalytic role in achieving sustainability in the apparel sector. At IFC, we conduct technical programs, assessments, looking at water, energy, and chemicals, and then developing customized solutions towards achieving them. And then also, we develop improvement plans, which includes financing, so that we could achieve sustainability, and the customers will then incorporate them into their sustainability plans. For example, Fakir Apparels in Bangladesh, when we started working with them, they were using something like 225 liters per kilogram of product. Once we finished, they have reduced it down to 50 liters, which is a 75% reduction, and they have seen the business case for sustainability. Similarly, for brands, now brands, if they incorporate sustainability into their corporate plans, they can achieve around 3% profitability. And that is why the brands, them also, not only the suppliers, needs to consider sustainability as part of their DNA.
What are you and the organization doing to accelerate sustainability in the apparel sector?
So let me take one example. We have a number of financial products at IFC. One of them is the Global Trade Supplier Finance Program. The Global Trade Supplier Finance Program helps companies, suppliers, to achieve higher environmental and social compliance, and they get rewarded for it. To elaborate on that, a brand might, when they place an order, they may pay in 30, 60, 90 days. Now that is a cost imposition for the supplier in terms of working capital. We take that order and pay in 2 days for those suppliers achieving environmental and social compliance. So that is one example of that. Brands like Levi's, Nike, and Puma have already partnered with us on the Global Trade Supplier Finance Program, and it's open to other brands as well, where they can incentivize their suppliers for doing the right thing. So coming back to your question on ROI, what is the return on investment? I don't think we should look at innovation as this technical innovation as a silver bullet. Business models, innovative business models, can also serve that purpose. These textile mills in Bangladesh discharge around 400 billion liters of water per year, and some of them go untreated. So when we did the assessments, it became clear that the companies do not have the wherewithal in terms of resources of financing and capex requirements and technical and human resources to help in them to achieve the right level of discharge in terms of quality and quantity. So we are now creating a $150 million special purpose vehicle company to help invest in wastewater treatment by attracting different technology suppliers, investors into a special purpose vehicle. So that's the innovative way of looking at a business model to achieve it. Similarly, on solar PV, solar PV is doable in most of these countries, but it's not the technological innovation that's going to make it. It's the business model. How do you have the risk-reward returns? And to do that, we need to think differently.
So if you could change or improve one thing in the financial sector during the next 5 years in order to accelerate sustainability performance in our sector, what would that be? What would you want to do?
The most important thing is collaboration. Everybody has a role to play. It's not just the finance sector. The brands need to play a big role in thinking differently in terms of sustainability, how the brands and the finance sector can co-invest. For example, at IFC, we have a product called a corporate guarantee. So it doesn't cost the brand to basically to support a supplier with the, if there is a corporate guarantee product. I take the example of VF Corp. VF Corp gave the mandate to IFC to provide a $10 million investment to its suppliers in Bangladesh for upgrading their fire and safety equipment with the suppliers. And IFC took basically it works with their commercial banks to approve loans for those nominated suppliers. So it's about all coming together and changing so that we can achieve higher sustainability than what we already have.
Do you find that even with the IFC's instruments today, do you see the need for much more capital going into our industry to enhance these solutions? And if so, how much more capital do you think is needed?
If I had a crystal ball, I would say we are looking at upwards of billions of dollars in order to make a measurable change in the industry. My key message is that we need to go from talk to action. The problems are the same and we keep repeating them at conferences, the media, etc., what the issues are. We all know them. But when it comes to action, aside from the leading brands, there are over 100 leading, 100 brands plus brands in the world. But aside from the major international brands who have taken a positive step, for example, with Levi's, we are looking at a global agreement to work with all of their strategic suppliers in achieving sustainability. Similarly, we are talking to other leading brands. But there are many more brands who are still sitting on the fence. I think they need to realize that if they want to be in this game, they need to rethink to incorporate environmental sustainability in their corporate plans.